These are the movies that disappointed legions of fans.
Let's take it down!
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 movies that derailed the franchise. For this list, we're looking at those entries in popular franchises that are considered to be not on par with their predecessors.
That is enough!
Or, to put it bluntly, these are those films that tarnished the reputations of the series they came from, and in some cases killed them altogether. However, we've excluded movies that had no business becoming a franchise anyway, as well as series that are too big to fail. Number 10, Terminator Salvation.
Let's rig up a portable shortwave. I need to test it on something larger in the field.
All right.
Destroy this thing.
Hitting big screens in 1984, with a leather-clad cyborg assassin of few words as its star.
I'll be back.
The Terminator and its 1991 sequel are beloved movies about the battle between man and machine. Some point to 2003's Rise of the Machines as the beginning of the end of this iconic franchise. But we blame 2009's effects-heavy and Schwarzenegger-less sci-fi extravaganza. Not only was Arnold not there, but he was replaced by a miscast Christian Bale.
We are dead! We are all dead!
In a film overstuffed with style and lacking in substance.
You're John Connor.
Of course you know me. You were sent here to kill me.
Number 9, X-Men: The Last Stand.
I don't understand. Magneto's a fugitive. We have a mutant in the cabinet, a president who understands us. Why are we still hiding?
We're not hiding, but we still have enemies out there.
With his first X-Men films, director Bryan Singer brought action, personality, depth, and more action to his comic book movies, and ensured they appealed to all kinds.
Senator, this is pointless. Where would you go? Who would take you in now that you're one of us?
When he stepped down for the third film, Brett Ratner took his place, and the result is a movie where the excitement and grit of the original are replaced by Hollywood gloss and one-dimensional characters.
The meeting's begun, sir.
Thank you.
To make matters worse, it's as boring a superhero movie as we've ever seen. Fortunately, it didn't prevent the franchise from pulling off a successful reboot 5 years later.
Us turning on each other. It's what they want. I tried to warn you, Charles.
Number 8, Die Another Day.
James, here for the penguins this time? Or for the view again?
Right now, I'm only interested in endangered species.
This Bond film marked the end of the Pierce Brosnan era, and for good reason. Focusing on gadgetry, action, and effects, rather than the mind games and thrilling suspense the franchise is known for. Die Another Day was criticized for catering too heavily to the younger crowd.
Why don't you acquaint yourself with the manuals? You'll be able to shoot through that in a couple of hours. Just took a few seconds, Q.
And even with Halle Berry as the Bond girl, it was considered a mess.
Jinx, you say?
Born on Friday the 13th.
You believe in bad luck?
Let's just say our relationships don't seem to last.
This experience hurt the 007 franchise so much, the creative minds behind it were forced to rethink their game plan. And that's how we ended up with a blonde Bond. Number 7, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Professor, hello? Hey, you Dr. Jones?
Run out of platform, kid.
It took 19 years for a new indie film to join the ranks of this fan-favorite franchise.
I have to return it.
Why you?
Because it told me to.
But after watching this Steven Spielberg and George Lucas mess, many fans wished they'd been kept waiting a little longer, or at least until a suitable sequel could be cobbled together.
It was a city of supreme beings with technologies and paranormal abilities.
You gotta be kidding me.
Though Harrison Ford and Karen Allen both returned, the casting of Shia LaBeouf as Indy's sidekick was a risky move that didn't pay off, and the script had less heart and humor than its forerunners. Simply put, this one nuked the fridge. Number 6, Friday the 13th, A New Beginning.
You know something? I really love it here. I hate it.
The 5th film of this never-ending horror movie franchise felt like a machete stab in the back for many hardcore fans. While the first entry was campy, it had some charm. This entry managed to remove that charm and replace it with B-movie horror tropes that were laughable at best.
Stay here, relax, I'll be right back, okay?
Still haunted by Jason, Tommy starts to lose his mind, thinking he's responsible for the gruesome murders happening at the halfway house he resides in. The cheap horror thrills and nudity that ensue are ridiculous, but always good for a laugh. Number 5, The Matrix Revolutions.
This isn't the Matrix.
That's where the train goes. That's where we're going. But you cannot go with us.
Why not?
He won't let you.
Although a case could be made that Reloaded began the derailment of this inventive franchise, that movie at least had one kick-ass highway chase scene. Its follow-up, on the other hand, had nothing for fans to get excited about.
None, and at this point, there's no reason to expect that there ever will be. Perhaps. But we can hope.
Stripping the series of its more vague philosophy and inserting instead a bombastic amount of special effects and scripted pretentiousness, Revolutions is just anticlimactic and an unsuitable end to an otherwise exceptional series.
Go up. Over them. What? The sky. It's the only way.
And up we go.
We were disappointed the minute we got to Zion, a hokey, fictionalized city that didn't live up to expectations.
Beautiful. Did you do that?
For now.
What was that?
I don't know.
Number 4, Jurassic Park III.
Hold on. What's happening?
If you thought The Lost World was disappointing, then you're sure to be disappointed by the 3rd installment in this dino franchise, which rehashes every original idea the first 2 entries may have had.
Does anyone have a question that does not relate to Jurassic Park? Or the incident in San Diego, which I did not witness?
Jurassic Park III's first mistake was not having Steven Spielberg as director, but there were many more. An unexpected parasailing landing, an unexpected island.
Site B.
You mean there are 2 islands with dinosaurs?
All right, you
stay out of this.
Unexpected new inhabitants. Yawn. Director Joe Johnston turned a once imaginative world into a B-movie letdown. Its unoriginality set the franchise back significantly, and in fact, it was 14 years until the next edition.
Look, you have to believe me, this was a stupid decision, but I did it with the best intentions.
With the best intentions. Some of the worst things imaginable have been done with the best intentions.
Number 3, Spider-Man 3.
They hated it, they hated me.
Well, they can't hate you.
Director Sam Raimi and Tobey Maguire's final Spider-Man film was met with such a lukewarm response from fans and critics that the franchise had to be rebooted and started from scratch.
Everybody needs help sometimes, Peter. Even Spider-Man.
So what went wrong? Where do we even start?
Now take all this.
The pacing plodded through with too many villains and too many subplots, but mostly we're still scarred by Peter Parker's random dance breaks and his notorious emo transformation, which will live forever in superhero infamy. Number 2, Superman 3 and Superman 4, The Quest for Peace.
Destroy Superman!
After an incredible first 2 films, expectations were sky high when Superman 3 came out in the summer of 1983. Needless to say, those expectations were not met.
But my Uncle Al on my father's side, he won't eat her stuffing. He says it should be cooked on the outside of the turkey, and she cooks it on the inside of the turkey.
Casting Richard Pryor, as funny as he was mistake number 1.
It's not my fault. I did what I was supposed to do.
The film's unusually campy/comedic tone was mistake number 2. Mistake number 3 was following it up with the even worse Quest for Peace, which has since gained the reputation as one of the worst movies ever made.
Oh, Clark, you always overreact. It won't be that terrible.
Hopefully very terrible, Miss Lane.
Not even Superman could save the day on that one.
Betrayed.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable, or in this case, dishonorable, mentions.
False alarms are no joking matter.
It wasn't a false alarm. There was a guy in the house, he had 2 lookouts, and a driver in a gray van.
This is lame.
Ow! You're lame. Just go for it.
No, not another sewer.
I'll be back.
Number 1, Batman and Robin.
I want a car. Chicks dig the car.
This is when Batman died.
Watch the numbers, Batman, for they're the harbingers of your doom. Can you feel it coming? The icy cold of space. Ah.
Thanks to director Joel Schumacher, a miscast George Clooney and Arnold Schwarzenegger, and some questionable costuming decisions like bat nipples and bat codpieces, this 4th film in the original Batman franchise has gained an ugly reputation over the years as the how not to do it superhero movie.
Enough monkey business. We've got work to do.
Monkey work.
Sucking out the gothic horror that enlivened Tim Burton's 2 films, Schumacher's loose, goofy, and overly punny approach was mocked and shunned by critics and fans alike. And that's putting it kindly.
Stay cool, bird boy.
Do you agree with our list? Which movies do you think derailed a beloved franchise? For more movie top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
We're going to need a bigger cave.